cloud. Then the screen share. Hello, welcome to our status review meeting. This is our final status review meeting for our 3-week project schedule. And with this, our project closing is going to be including the full team for our project on the freshman game tutorial for incoming freshmen coming into the College of Science and Technology. The team members related to this project are Lauren Anderson, Antonio Heron, Jordan Johnson, me, Kamari Shepard, and Sheree White as our project manager. Our respective positions on this project came together to create this wonderful website that we were going to be speaking briefly on in the upcoming slides. For our agenda today, starting at 6, we will talk about our previous meeting and updates that have happened since then, with myself, Kamari, going over any changes in software. Sheree is talking about our last document that was completed today, I will talk briefly about the budget before Lauren talks more in depth about the status, trends, and variances that have occurred. Then I will come back at 6:08 to talk about any risks that our project may have incurred since week 2. Antonio Heron will speak about any issues that have occurred due to these risks to our project coming to fruition. If there were any issues that are currently stopping our project from being completed, we'll talk about that at 6:12. At 6:15, Jordan will come in to briefly speak about anything that we learned from doing this project over the past 3 weeks. Then Sheree will come to talk about anything that we still need to do to complete our project, and go ahead, and then we will go ahead and join our meeting at 6:20 p.m. And then with that, our first person to speak should be for cost work schedule. Lauren? Wow, I really made this super long. This is 3 minutes. Okay, well, update since the last meeting. So since last week, we have actually been able to connect our website to our website that is being hosted on AWS to our database that is being separately hosted on using MySQL. Now, this had taken an extra 2 days to complete. However, we have finally connected them, and we do also have 2 versions of the website for the client to had looked through. They ended up settling on the one that's currently on the screen for the login page. There were some issues with the functions for switching between sites and for the user to select different options, but those have been resolved since then. Sheree went ahead and she completed the resource schedule and added information for the new budget. Okay, next we have the cost schedule and work scope. We have, since the new stakeholder came, we added 4.4% difference to our budgeted cost. Since week 3 has started, been continuing, we have actually experienced a decrease of 13.3% in our evaluated value between week 2 and week 3. Our profit, though, has increased by 57% due to a increase in the share workload and a decrease in actual cost. Our week 3 variance has been 21% due to this. Between week 1 and week 2, our budgeted cost was about $9,678 together, but by week 3, our budgeted cost was by itself $5,478. Between week 2 and week 3, there has been a 13.3% difference, with actual cost being significantly lower than our budgeted cost for week 2 and week 3 due to a team member sadly leaving. Since week 1, there has been a steady increase in the estimated value of each individual's work for the week. That has been steadily increasing due to the increased workload. However, our actual costs have been experiencing a decrease due to the loss of one of the members in our team. With the work being completed, having been so much in comparison to our actual cost, there is actually a 21% difference between work completed between week 2 and week 3. There was 2 instances of loss of internet, which affected our productivity for several hours combined. However, it has since then been resolved, thankfully. However, due to the lack of coverage during those times, we actually had to assign overtime for certain members without pay. Hopefully, we in the future can go ahead and avoid this. There was a loss of access for the admin to certain system privileges. They had to be reassigned by the web host to update their status. Took a couple of hours, but by the end, the administrator was able to regain access. There was also a bug, sadly, that allowed unauthorized members who weren't technically students, but did engage in the sign up portion of our entry log and was able to gain access to the system without actually being authenticated by our customer. We resolved this by adding an additional event trigger to stop non-students that have inputted the false information to access the service. Okay. There were some complaints by the client due to this service downtime. However, after informing them, we did communicate with them that this was a issue due to our service provider rather than from us. So we went ahead and we increased the workload of the team so that we could still keep in line with our project schedule. And due to the extra workload, our earned value that increased, but was not proportional with our actual costs that were allotted to each member for the time that they did. Because we based their daily work based on the agreed upon hours rather than the hours that they worked overtime. Okay, next. All right, then we have our lessons learned. Since this was such an issue that interfered with our relationship with the client, possibly could have harmed our progress in other projects. We reached out to the service provider to talk about any other additions that we could add to our current network to scale it so that if this were to happen again, we would not experience this issue. We have yet to come to a concrete answer on that, but hopefully we'll be able to finalize this within the coming weeks. We need to go ahead and also assign aid positions to regular team members to help key members in their work in the case that key members that overwatch the more important functions of the task to go ahead and continue the work so that the workload isn't increased so much that it affects other projects. We also may need to assign non-key personnel to be able to work from home so that we can cut down on operating costs, because we've actually been experiencing a nearly 50% increase in our weekly profits. However, we could increase that more. However, now that we've finished the project, we need to go ahead and distribute the initial costs for each person doing their assigned task in the agreed upon time. And then we can distribute bonuses to members who went far and beyond what was asked of them to make sure that this project was completed on time. Thank you, Lauren and Sheree, for your contributions. We will allot your bonuses sometime in the upcoming week. Thank you for your service in doing this. Thank you. We also need to go ahead and reach out to the client and participating employees for some of our other projects, stating that our project is now completed so that we can go ahead and reallot the current members of this project to other projects overseen by our company. We will also need to collect peer evaluation reports done by employees a few days ago so that we can better understand what we can learn up and apply to upcoming projects of a similar nature. Thank you for attending this meeting. I hope it was informational, and that if you have any other questions, you can go ahead and contact our project manager, Sheree White, for more information if you need any links to the documentation, or if you need to contact one of our members, you can ask leadership. Thank you for coming.